Hey, fight fans, we're already one massive championship upset into 2026, and we're through one card. Justin Gaethje comes out of nowhere in a fight of the year contender already to dethrone Paddy Pimblett and set himself up, I guess, for a date with Ilya Taporia. Matty and I, not exactly on the right side of that one, but at least it was a really good fight to watch. But no rest for the wicked. We already are right back at it. Pay-per-view this coming weekend from Sydney, Australia. UFC 325, Alexander Volkanovski, Diego Lopez 2, the headliner on this card, Matty. The Paramount era kicked off in style. We did not. We didn't hit a cycle, and that's our standard. So we're back to the grind this weekend, aren't we?
Bro, did Patty forget his wrestling shoes, or did the UFC tell him he wasn't allowed to grapple? I mean, what the fuck happened, bro?
No idea. Unfortunately, TikTok is dead. I tried to make a TikTok about it. I'm surprised it wasn't a bigger talking point that he
Good, I'm
didn't come
glad
out when he was
TikTok is
fresh.
dead. They're dead to me, bro.
Yeah. But when he was fresh, I would have expected he came out grappling right away. Maybe he was trying to prove something with the hands, and he said he got injured in the first round when he got hit in the solar plexus.
Yeah,
so,
that first round is not. I expected the complete opposite from Justin. I thought he was gonna stay at range and leg kick him. I was like, this motherfucker did not care, bro. He just marched forward in straight up kill mode. I don't know if you felt disrespected or just had no respect for Patty, but I cannot believe the fight even made it out of that first round. He took a beating in that first round.
Right.
Some referees would have stopped that towards the end of the round. I really do think I think it was a left hook or something that when Patty was up against the cage, crouched down and took a shot right to the chin and went on his back. I thought that was it. I thought literally they were going to call it. And props to his chin, but I cannot believe he didn't get knocked out in that fight. And it'll be interesting to see what he looks like in the next one or two fights after that beating, because that reminded me of the Justin Gaethje Tony Ferguson fight. It was that bad of a beating. It was very close to that bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you scripted a fight to look as bad for Paddy Pimblett as it possibly could, it would be him skirting along the fence in boxing range, and that's what that entire fight was getting at.
It would have been insane if he marched through all that damage and found a late finish, because I thought there was still a chance that was going to happen, where Justin was just a better fighter, but I feel like Justin's durability was worse just from all the damage he's taken over his career. And I was like, is there a chance that Patty finds a round 3 to 5 finish after getting his ass beat?
Yeah.
But dude, that was just an absolute war.
Yeah. Other than that, a kind of a straightforward card. You loved the Waldo KO. It was he just played with his food for a little bit there to let the over hit, and then he knocked him out when Derek went to the ground one time.
I couldn't believe how short that. I got Waldo KO before I left Florida at plus 105, bro.
Crazy.
That Vegas, it was minus 110 to minus 125 everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I didn't hammer another straight bet on it, because I had the 10K bet on it parlayed with O'Malley fight to just go the distance, and that was free.
Yeah.
But it stopped me from hammering more on a straight on it because the price had just moved so much. I just felt like a sucker.
Sure.
But I knew it was hidden.
Yeah. And by the way, the mass is joining me on the anti-Natalia Silva train. Yet another fight that looked the exact same. And apparently we got some eye pokes and Rose surgery there as well. So a lot of interesting storylines coming out there, Maddie. We got this.
Did Wilder take him down?
Did they count that as a takedown?
I don't think it was a takedown. I could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't play
the finishing sequence was from a jab and then ground and pound. Yeah. I guess, did he have a takedown before that? I don't remember that.
Just a quick recap, by the way. Underdog of the card, Nikita Krylov was going to win the decision, ended up getting the finish anyway.
We were the only two people I saw on that shit. I think Cade Dive and a couple other guys were on it, but honestly, this is a perfect fade spot on Krylov's next fight now, because he looked terrible in my view. I thought he looked horrible. He looked slow. Round 1, he looked so slow. I was regretting the bet so quickly, but I think that fight was more about Modestus is just not that great. More so than Nikita's back. He's not back.
You and I were like, well, okay, Bukauskas is a guy we don't think is super powerful. That's why we like him. If they match him up with anybody with any sort of power, I think he's going to get chinned again, because he was slow. And he's
definitely anybody that has not even power, anyone that has speed.
Yes.
Anyone that, if they match him up with someone who has legit speed on the feet, he's getting put away. And he's definitely not winning a decision against somebody with speed.
And then, Dixon.
I'll fade a good fighter at -300 against him in his next fight if I have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Dixon made reference to my profile picture. I had Perez Johnson to go the distance in the safe parlay. Charles Johnson out to lunch last week. The Alexander Hernandez fight was pulled for, I guess, betting activity last week as well. He was in the safe parlay. I thought that was dead just because he flipped to an underdog before they pulled it. So
yeah,
not a great
props to
show.
the UFC. They're fucking learning, bro.
Yeah, I like that as well, just in case anything fishy's going on. Or worst case, it got out that Hernandez has an injury, in which case you probably shouldn't have fought anyway. So,
Right.
all righty, man. Why don't we dive in? This will be a tough card for us because we do have the road to UFC finales to open the card.
I got so little for you guys. I'm just telling Austin now. I don't even care if we just skip through these 4 fights, but we'll still go through them for you guys. But chat, we're relying on your guys' comments in here. Because I'm 99% sure Austin can't model any of these fights. And I've spent very little time on these fights as well. So, chat, we're going to rely on you guys. We want to hear from you. If you've done tape study, if you like any of these fights in the first 4 fights of the night, let us know in the chat as we go through these. We got a super chat here. Appreciate you, my mother 77. Thank you, bro, for the super chat.
So I try, like I do on the Contender series, I try to evolve my film knowledge here. So I tried with all of these finales. So we start here in the flyweight division. This is Road to UFC Season 4. They brought in some of the Aussies and some of the Kiwis for this season, which I think raised the overall talent level. So I think that's a positive change for this. Because we've already seen Aaron Tao. He was on the Contender series in 2024. And I'm sorry, Bot Bayar on the other side here as well. Much more of a prospect in that range from Mongolia. So, Matty, in this one, I guess Tao is the known name and he's an underdog, which is a little suspect and fishy from the beginning. But I guess you remember Tao's appearance on the Contender series, and what do you think of him in general? If we can go back that far,
I like this guy a lot, minus his takedown defense. I think that's the only thing that scares me in this matchup. He has a 64% takedown defense. Elijah Smith took him down 5 times on Contender series. But he's just a scary fucking durable guy. He's a guy you don't want to get in a scrap with. I kind of like him in this matchup, but I'm also a little nervous at the same time here. But I think I'm going to be dog or pass here. But again, guys, I haven't spent a lot of time on this card, so we're counting on you guys to give us the locks here.
Yeah, so Bot Bayar on Road to UFC, and a lot of times Road to UFC, I don't mean this offensively, but it's just a sloppy takedown fest. Like the guys are just in these ugly clinch. Right? It's just the way that East Asia Pacific fighters tend to fight is just kind of this grappling, mauling style, not particularly savvy at distance. And Bot Bayar had just a 25% takedown accuracy through the Road to UFC tournament. So that's not good. So I am of the belief that I think Tao might actually have a plus chance to stay on his feet. I like Elijah Smith. He's huge for this division. Remember, he slammed the poor kid from Japan. I forget his name.
That was a brutal slam. I was like, what was Kazama. The other slam that was similar to that? Who was it? The Cody Brundage fight.
I thought you were talking about Rampage, like way back in the day.
I'm talking about like a year ago. Cody Brundage slammed Logan Paul on his head.
Oh yeah, Zach Reese.
Logan
Paul. Yeah, he did.
Dude, that was fucking crazy. That was just like this one.
Yeah, and that was a huge finish for Elijah Smith. So like when you look at Tao and the durability that he was able to survive, and Elijah, we've already seen him fight Vince Morales and beat him. So like that's the level of competition we have as a particular measuring stick. By the way, Bot Bayar, if you want a measuring stick on him, he lost regionally to not our guy Naim Jargal Tumen Dembry, who we have had in a cycle parlay, unfortunately, before. Remember that week?
By the way, we didn't even mention this, Austin. Yeah. Not one submission on the whole card last week.
Yeah, tough to hit a cycle.
No, impossible to hit a cycle. With that said, I feel like I had the best cycle possible because the only sub that was actually live was Hokit. He had his back the whole first round. He just never put the hooks in. He wanted to put on a show. He didn't want the sub. But I felt like that was the best sub read of the whole card, truthfully. There really wasn't much else.
I want my Merrick Boljo bet back. on Denzel Freeman when he was like minus 190 against that guy, because Denzel Freeman is absolutely terrible. And I
Bro,
don't think he'll
I
be in
won't be
UFC
surprised if they
much
cut him
longer.
after
But
that.
yeah, agreed.
The way
I
they
think
cut
most
fighters
likely,
these
I don't know if
days,
we,
you
yeah.
know, the way they cut
Do we have
fighters these
props
days, they're gonna
anywhere
have,
on this fight,
I'm not seeing
Maddie, to
shit, bro.
open up?
I'm actually gonna refresh
Okay.
right now and check.
I
Yeah, the first,
imagine that the fight to go the distance is probably going to come in more north of minus 200 here. It is flyweight. Tao is extremely durable, doesn't bring a lot of submission upside to the table. So really, I think it comes down to Bot Bayar and his chin. But having not been finished through the tournament, I feel decent about that. I think this is kind of a damage versus striking dilemma. And then you also got to keep this in mind. Tao is the local guy with City Kickboxing. So I kind of like Tao by decision here as a specific lean. It does feel super square to me because you've got the guy who's more known to public demand at this point as an underdog. But
we got some props, bro. Bet online.
on this fight, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we got the most likely outcome is a tie between, I'm gonna butcher his name, Bot Bayar. Did I say it right?
You got it. You got it, bro.
By KO is plus 255, and both guys by KO is the most likely outcome at plus 255. Aaron by points is plus 350, Bot Bayar by points is plus 450. Then you have the Bot Bayar sub at plus 365. That has life to it. That has a little bit of life to it. I think he has 5 submissions. I think only one in the UFC or in the road to UFC. But I want to say he has 5 submissions on his Tapology. Let me fact check that.
I forgot we were unchained to check Bet Online as like just a starting point, you know, for
Bro, that's the only site I see right now.
well, I mean, it gives us a measuring stick over 1.5 minus 180. It's interesting. Violence is favored there.
5 subs, 5 subs for him. 1 submission loss. He's 5-1 to the submission, and he has 5 subs in his last 7 fights, bro.
Oh, okay.
And this guy is sketchy takedown defense, so I do feel like that's live. But I agree with you. I do like the dog here by decision. I would say is probably how the fight ends.
Prop market's kind of wide open there. Interestingly, like there's not any one convincing outcome. So I don't know. There's no way we're going cycle here. We're just kind of spitballing. Why don't we move on? We spent
Logan or Jake, if we can fix that, I think we got to fix the title or something. I don't know if that's a right or wrong comment, but just check on that for us.
If
guys.
you check my X at a Swaim 3, I should have the right one because I was able to double check and it went right here. So hopefully that's the one everyone joined us with if necessary. But there's a lot of different ways to join our show, and we thank you for doing so. So why don't we move on, and we'll keep these ones moving since we don't have a lot of props or information. How about Suling Grongbo taking on Lawrence Louis? You guys really put me through the ringer with these names this week, but Lawrence Louis, interesting guy from City Kickboxing. They've got quite a few reps on this card here in Sydney, taking on a prospect from China in Suling Grongbo, who's only 20 years old. He's a young buck trying to join UFC, hails from China. So, Maddie, do you have any particular leans or anything on this fight? Because it is a challenging one at 135.
Yeah, I'm ready to do an underdog City Kickboxing parlay, bro.
Of
Louis and Tao.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No,
I like Louis here too, bro. I really do. Yeah. This line is very surprising to me.
Louis 6-1 to the KO, 3-2 on the cards. He is 10-3 professionally. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong fucking tab. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull up Louis' page. Scratch everything I just said. He's 7-1, 7-1 professionally, 4-0 to the knockout. Plus 190 though is kind of crazy here, bro.
Yeah, I think it's because he was dropped. Louis was dropped twice early in his last fight on Road to UFC. So the film guys will get in here and they'll be like, I think this guy is chinny. The problem for me is that I don't think Suling Grongbo, I don't think he's got the right level of physicality to sort of threaten that chin where, how much of this line is nostalgia because his name sounds like Rambo? It's like, I guess so, yeah. And by the way, the one-named fighters, the mythical fighters that come off of the Road to UFC, I think a lot of people like to bet those as well.
Is this accurate? Is this an accurate comment?
Is this accurate, or are we getting messed with? Because equal could be possible.
If it's accurate, I kind of like him a little more now.
I honestly, I kind of like Louis a lot, actually, where like as a prospect, he's got a very educated lead hand. I think he produces really quality feints. And this is like dating back to, I was watching tape before Road to UFC because, Road to UFC is buried on Fight Pass. But I think it's interesting that these city kickboxing guys, you start to see more wrestling offense. Think of a guy like Navajo Sterling at 205. He's really shown a pretty quality takedown offense. We saw Louis get 4 takedowns in his last Road to UFC appearance. I don't know what I'm missing here, where other than maybe the chin, Louis feels honestly like a pretty well ready-made UFC prospect. And I don't know if he's going to die, and he might die at some point early in his UFC tenure, but I think physicality in the clinch is going to be him. He's way more technical on the feet. Suling Grangbo was he just winged an uppercut to get his last knockout on Road to UFC. So
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not as strong on
nice
him.
reach advantage though.
Yeah,
a
pretty large reach. He's big
inches.
for 135.
Yeah.
Louis is. Might be where the chin issues come from cutting so much weight, but like hometown guy, city kickboxing, and frankly, Suling Grangbo, he trains with Yi Jia and he trains with Rongju at the same gym. And it's interesting to me that both of those guys also joined UFC very young. And they were not, remember Rongju's early UFC tenure before he got cut? He was not very successful. And then he kind of came back and he matured into his own. This is another guy that is more similar to me than we saw those raw guys come into UFC and really, really struggle. So to me, minus 250 is insanity from what I saw in preliminary evaluation. I think it is really just an obsession with Louis getting dropped in his last fight to me.
Dog or pass. Guys, how do you hit a 50-1 touchdown parlay and lose it the next day? That's impossible, bro. That's not very good discipline right there.
Got to manage your bankroll, which is why if I'm on these fights, these Road to UFC fights, I'm on them tiny. I will say, for the first time ever, Matty, I opened my week with a Road to UFC bet. It's coming up in one of the fights coming, but I almost never dive in early, but I did this week, and it actually, shocker, I've got closing line value, which means it's dead already. So why don't we move on here?
I like dogs. I think if you take both dogs in the first 2 fights, I think one of the 2 hits, bro.
Yeah, I definitely like this one, but
yeah,
Matty, this was my first bet of Road to UFC. I never dive in off tape study right away. That's never how I roll. But Sebastian Cizale has me absolutely enamored. I think he's the most talented prospect to come off of Road to UFC. He's taken on a guy in Kichiro Nakamura that I also thought fought really well on Road to UFC. It's kind of unfortunate for him that I think he's got to run into Cizale. I'll tell you why I think Cizale is such a big time prospect. Well, we have seen him move up a little bit. He was minus 120 on Sunday. He's now up to minus 132 at 145. I don't know how much you've dug into this fight, but do you have a particular lean on it?
I'd like to hear your lean, bro.
I love Cizale. I bet him at minus 120. It's now moved up here. He trains with Cody Haddon and Quillen Salkild at their gym out in Australia.
I like those training partners.
Yeah, and they're good bodies at this size, and you see it when you look at not only his film from Road to UFC, but how about some of these peripherals? 71% striking defense, absorbed less than 1.3 significant strikes per minute, 84% takedown defense, and then the highest striking success rate of any of the 8 guys off of the tournament, plus 2.98. The guy has a sparkling clean peripheral record, and I think it shows up on tape. I think this guy's going to be a stud at 145 in the general UFC masses, and making him fight Road to UFC competition was a little too easy. Yeah.
And the shortest line on this fight is actually Nakamura by KO. Is that crazy as the dog?
Yeah, pass.
So Nakamura KO's plus 190, and then the KO the other way is plus 260.
Yeah, I'm leaning a little bit, maybe more points. I think if there is a criticism of Cizale, it can be his activity, and he just doesn't carry a ton of power in his hands. But the dude is a grinder with excellent defense, and I love that foundation in this division.
We got a nice super chat here. Triple money line underdog.
We got Aaron Tsao and then Oban Elliott and Torres Fetty to come. I'm interested, Matty, where you'll lean on those fights. But this guy's
Elliott as a dog is kind of crazy.
Now,
bro.
Remember, please listen to me, guys. You have to pander to Matty if you're going to submit a super chat, or he's not going to pick your pick. You can't be on the other side of one of his favorite leans on the card, or he's not going to pick your parlay. You got to pander to him. It's the way it works.
It's not really, that you got to pander to me. It's that you can't pick Derek Lewis when I say Acosta K is my favorite bet of the card. I can get some spots if they persuade me, but they can't be complete opposite.
I don't know, man. I think that they basically try. I think the ones that win, they regularly tap into your brain and they pick types of
Yeah,
parlays that you would want to bet.
fair enough. Fair enough.
All over 2.5. I will say, historical trends on Road to UFC. I just looked at some of the previous ones. The flyweight and bantamweight overs have been money. Almost all of them have gone the particular distance, and so that way, if I feel like I get a full fight, I like Tao and I like Louis in the previous ones to follow that particular trend of if I get all 15 minutes, I don't have to worry about the submission defense for Tao or the chin for Louis.
Is it fair to say the Road to UFC fights have more length than the Contender Series?
Absolutely. Yeah, because it's not like a gotta impress Dana thing. It's like you win the tournament, you're in the UFC. And frankly, they've been taking the losers too.
Yeah.
Does he look like I think Cesale looks almost like a AI generated version of Gerald Mearshart. Is that accurate? Like a younger? Yeah, like he's got a little bit of Gerald Mearshart in the facial characteristics. That's what I see when I look at him.
I do see that a lot now that you said it.
All right, why don't we move on? We're almost through the Road to UFC 1-0 lightweight.
Last one, thank God.
How about this nickname battle for the? I think this might be nickname battle of the year already. How about
guys? There's no tricycle parlays until I hit a fucking bicycle. We got to take baby steps here. Yeah. A tricycle is insane. That's a once in a lifetime. That's not a once in a year hit. That's a once in a lifetime hit.
I do like the idea of like a small Road to UFC cycle. That could be cool. Hey, let's like.
I'm down to do a cycle for the Road to UFC. I think we can get there. But the only submission one's hard though. I think you got to go first fight of the night if you want the submission, and I don't even love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you say that because 6 of the 8 combatants did not have a submission attempt on the show. So I think you're right.
Yeah.
That sub is going to be the tough one if we try to do that. But you killed it, bro.
There better not be another card with no subs, bro. I'm going to go bankrupt.
Yeah, I know, but I was trying to lead this up, man. The nicknames here are incredible. We got Street Buddha taking on Frogman. It doesn't get better than that. Don Marfan is Street Buddha. We got Frogman and Sano Kim on the other side here. Really interesting fight at lightweight. It's definitely one of the closer line. It's the second closest lined Road to UFC fight. Oh, I'm wrong. It's third. So all of the Road to UFC fights are kind of small, except the one that we like the dog in. Don Marfan is the favorite here. He is hailing from the home country of Australia. Sano Kim representing South Korea on the other side here. Matty, do you have a particular lean in this guy? Because I think this is the toughest one for me.
Yeah, I mean, Kim is 9-0 to the finish, which is interesting because he's 4-3 on the scorecards. So then you look at Fan, who is 4-0 on the cards here. You kind of, without even watching tape or looking at anything, you want to take a look at Fan by points here and see what it pays.
Yep.
Let's take a look and see what that is. If there's a line for it, plus 185. Most likely outcome is Fan by points, and I think it makes sense. You turn the minus 160 favorite to plus 185 with a guy that's never lost on the cards against a guy that is 4-3 on the cards. So I think that's a prop that I'm going to look at once I do more tape study.
Yeah, we got a lot of Dom Mar love here in the chat, which is kind of interesting.
Bro, by the way, I'm glad someone just commented this. We're starting the ladder challenge this card because I promised you guys it, and I didn't have time last week. But Austin, so for everyone that doesn't know what a ladder challenge is, it's very hard to do with MMA. Not because it's hard like from a mathematical standpoint, but because people like the ladder challenge because you go daily, right? So if you do an NBA ladder challenge, you can do a play today and then the next day and then the next day and climb the ladder. But for UFC, my thought was to do a ladder challenge with 2 ladders per card. A prelim ladder. If you hit the prelim ladder, you do a main card ladder, and then you at least get two steps up the ladder on one card, and then you go to next week and do 2 more. What are your thoughts on that strategy? Because I think that's the only way to do it. Because 1 ladder per week is just tough, bro. And then you go 3 cards, hit 3 in a row, and then you got to wait till the 4th week to keep climbing. So I kind of feel like if the chat likes that, that's what I'm going to do. So let us know in the chat.
I bet you'll probably get approval for that. It's just so tough to wait for the once a week stuff, you know?
Yeah. I kind of like that strategy. I think we're going to start that this week.
Okay. Yeah, we got some thumbs up. So did you want to give those out on the show, or are you going to have them separate, like after a bit of thinking?
I'm down to do the prelim one on the show.
Okay.
I'm not going to release the main card one, and if the prelim hits, we'll release the main card in real time. But I'm going to need your help on the first ladder play of the year.
Okay.
We'll have to see if we do Road to UFC for that or just a regular prelim, though.
Oh, I would go probably a regular prelim. I think there are a
Yeah.
few spots I like on them, but
And the other thing is, like, in a normal ladder challenge, you want to try to aim for like -120 to +120 range, because you want to
Yep.
double your money. But I'm not opposed to doing like a -115 and then the next one being like +110 or something,
Yeah.
because you don't want to force it. So, like a lot of creators that do the ladder challenge in NBA, they'll take like 3 or 4 NBA players to go over a adjusted line that's like gonna hit. Like if a total is like 25 points for an NBA star, they'll take them to get 15, and it'll be like -400, and then they'll
Gotcha.
put in a couple other plays. But the goal is to double your money on each ladder play, essentially.
Interesting. Can I give you my lean in this fight before we
Of
move
course,
on?
bro.
I
Yeah.
like Sano Kim and sprinkle the sub. That's what I like
You
in
like
this
Kim by
fight.
sub?
Yeah, Dalmar Fan struggled to
Ooh.
defend takedowns on road to UFC. He gave up 4 out of 5 of them. And Kim is a guy that is 4-0 to the sub as a pro. Dalmar Fan only 2 pro losses via submission. So
Now
I
we're
think he
talking.
can get top control in this time, and I think that a submission is live. Decision is probably the most likely outcome, but I do think Kim can control the wrestling exchanges here. And Fan is a
What do you
very
think the number is,
explosive,
bro?
athletic guy. What is it?
What do you think the sub number is if you had to guess?
I mean, I could check on Bet Online, but I'm gonna guess it's like
I
4 to
know
1,
what it
maybe.
is. I want to see what you think it is.
Maybe 4 to 1.
Plus 550.
Ooh, I
I'm
like
down.
that. Oh, I like
Now we
that.
could get there on a. So here's what we need. If we're gonna
Yeah.
do a road to UFC cycle parlay,
Yeah.
that plus 550 is a big number. So we need a fucking short decision and a short KO, and we have maybe 20 to 1 right there.
Yeah, I think I think that Kim maybe was a little undervalued for the submission stuff because to me he had the striking advantage in both of his tournament fights, so he didn't necessarily have to go to his submission office, but he
Yeah.
has 4 pro wins via sub, so like I think the skills are there, and he's a very experienced guy. Trains with Sanyo Ko at Havas Seoul in South Korea. You know the guy that's at welterweight that just beat the crap out of Oban Elliott and Phil Rowe. That guy.
That guy's a monster, by the way.
He is, and
Actually,
I
really
think.
good.
You want to talk about a similar size body grappling stuff? I think that would tangibly translate, right?
Yeah. What was his last fight after the Oban Elliott fight?
He had Phil Rowe, dude. Controlled him, I think, for
dude,
over
he's
10
a beast,
minutes.
bro. He's a beast.
Sanhook Kim by sub. I really like that sprinkle at plus 550.
I'm
'Cause
so down for that, bro. You sold me.
I think he controls the grappling exchange here. Give us the frogman. All right.
All right, hold on. Let's try to build this road to UFC cycle. We won't spend too
Okay.
much time on it. But if we take him by sub, if we take Kim by sub, we got plus 550. What do you want to do? Aaron by decision?
If we have to build a cycle, I would probably go Tao knockout as my favorite knockout.
Well,
And then
let's
like
take a fight to go the distance. So I think
give me
this
this
fight.
Tizale fight to go the distance, bro.
So if we take this fight to go the distance, let me see what that is. Plus 130 there.
Really?
I don't know if I can put these three together right now. Hold on, I'm gonna have to log in. Let me see if I log in and it'll let me. Someone told me BetOnline you can parlay props now, but I don't know. Oh yeah, all right. So then we need a KO.
I'd probably go Tao of these 3, but I don't feel amazing about that.
Yeah, but wasn't there?
Let me look up Tao's professional KO rate.
Tao KO was the second. That was the shortest.
Dang, 7 of 11 wins by KO for Tao. I didn't realize it was that high
I
because the
don't know
Smith
if I
fight
can
went
do
the
it.
decision.
We
And
can
as
do
well
it.
as he had a decision on road to UFC.
We can do this manually with the math. It's not formulating it right now. All right, so hold on. We have Tao KO plus 255.
Okay.
Kim sub plus 550. And then what was the one? What was the fight to go the distance?
We're going Cizale fight, right?
That fight to go the distance is plus 130.
I can pull.
Zale
it.
fight goes distance. Can you put this in a parlay calculator?
I can.
Bro. Road to USC. Road to USC cycle parlay.
Shout out to my friends at Action Network for having one of these available.
I always use the Action Network lay.
Yeah.
Bro, so when I had the cycle parlay that lost a leg because of the fight that got canceled.
I've got 50 to 1 plus 50, 58.
All right, hold on. Cesale fight goes distance plus 130. And then Kim by sub plus 550. 50 to 1?
Yeah, I got plus 50, 58.
Let me copy and paste that before I send it. There it is, boys. Oh my goodness.
Remember, we're just having fun here.
Could you imagine if we smack a 50 to 1 in the first 4 fights in the card?
Remember, we're just having fun here. This is just all speculative, Matty and I.
No, this is a lock, boys.
I did a lot of because there was a snowstorm here. I didn't get a single customer on Sunday at my job, so I literally was just doing UFC prep all day. I was watching Road to UFC tape for a lot of it. So maybe the work pays off and my leans come through. But Matty, you ready to move up onto the regular prelims now?
Yeah, let me just send this. I'm gonna have them cook a graphic for us.
Okay.
All right, dude, that's fire. Bro, if we just hit the first 2 legs,
yeah,
we're sweating a sub for 50 to 1, bro. I love that.
And Kim sub is my favorite prop of them, even though
we got our first super chat parlay. Ralston round 1. I'm gonna take a picture of this one. Ralston round 1 KO. Solid Cod round 1 KO. BSD sub plus 4,200. We'll come back to that, boys.
My favorite part of the show, I have no idea where you lean on these fights. So you taking pictures of them, like we'll find out where it goes. Like we try not to talk before. So why don't we move on? I think Yi Jia and Khan Oakley is our first one up that we got on. There we go. Now we're back. We're kind of back in
this
the
Oakley guy, bro. I just never have the right read on this guy. I don't know. I think I'm 0-2 on his fights.
Yeah. The last one was crazy. I mean, there was like the foul there with Ramos, and then all of a sudden Ramos ended up getting submitted in that fight. Common Ramos sort of mistake that got him cut from UFC. And the Yi Jia, he took Weston Wilson's head off in 37 seconds last time we saw him in Macau. So
I actually hit. Good, sorry, bro.
You want to plug Longshots?
No, I was gonna say, guy, Hayden and I show is Friday nights, guys. We did one last week. It's every Friday night. Yeah. Austin and I are Wednesdays.
I come on earlier because we'll do the fight breakdowns and you guys can.
I did ask Grok to calculate it. You're right. Grok is actually bro. It's pretty impressive that the AI can calculate a screenshot like that. You know.
Yeah, it is.
You know, because and even determine which fights I'm talking about, which one was canceled. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, Grok is crazy, and I use.
We got one more super chat before we talk about this one. I'm gonna take a picture of this one.
Diego
Lopez KO, Finney decision, BSD sub. That's juicy, boys.
35
I'm gonna say one thing right now. I already knew this was gonna happen, Austin. The whole world this week is gonna be on BSD sub. We're gonna talk about that later.
Okay.
The whole world's gonna be on BSD sub. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But all right,
BSD's all right, yeah, no. So I was, I definitely waffled a little bit on this fight here. Do you have a lean?
My lean is to fade freaking Oakley because I'm tired of this guy, bro. And the thing is Oakley's not going to sub this guy. I can tell you that much. This guy's 14-1 to the submission. He's got good cardio. He's shredded. 26-5 professionally. Yeah. I can tell you one thing right now. I don't think Oakley's going to sub this guy.
Yeah. I think Yi Jia is a grinder, dude. And you look at Oakley, hasn't defended any of the takedowns he's faced either on the Ultimate Fighter or through his brief UFC tenure. Mohamed Naimov was able to control him most of the fight. I think Jia is going to be able to pile up takedowns 3, 4, 5, control this fight on the mat if he needs to. And the thing about him that he's underrated, he's tough and he's durable. He had that fight with Gabriel Santos that was not going his way. He really never was in sort of any danger of getting finished. Like there were a bit hairy moments, but to me, he's way bigger. like, oh, this is a weird matchup to give Ofli as the quote unquote hometown guy, because I think Yijia is going to be able to use his wrestling to control him here. At first I was like, man, that's a big number for Yi against a guy who just won via sub. But when you consider all the factors around that of Yijia's submission defense is better, he's probably got better cardio than Ricardo Ramos. We know he's got better wrestling, and he's probably a more durable, reliable guy. I think Yijia by decision, grinding him out, or maybe even gets a late finish here, just wears him down. But
yeah,
I think that's kind of my lean here.
Yeah. What's good, Joker? Yeah, bro. So Yiza is down to -190, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, he did get front kicked and knocked down, but I feel like his recovery was pretty good in that Santos fight. Like, I didn't feel like he was on the road.
He's the guy to do that to him.
Hopefully, I'm with you, man. It's a really weird thing where if he wasn't a favorite on the Ultimate Fighter against Myron Santos, he certainly was a popular underdog pick. And then he ended up losing that one by KO. A lot of people thought he would get Naimov, and he wasn't able to stop the takedown.
Myron Santos one's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, he lost to him, but he didn't look that bad. But he got what he got taken out by a left hook in round 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what Zab by KO is. Plus 850. Holy shit.
I don't know if I'm ready to go Yijia standing knockout against a guy in Ofli he's
pretty durable overall.
Yeah, overall pretty durable. Like, the thing about Yijia, I hit that 6-1 first round knockout against Weston Wilson, because Weston Wilson is he has his chin up in the air. He's willing to give up the back foot. He's just he's a technical mess on the feet, and Yi was a big favorite in that fight. So
facts. We got a $4.99 super chat.
Oh, okay.
$4.99 ones I have to consider twice as much, boys. That's just math. All right, let's see what it is. Ralston finish, Alicana finish, Towson to share a KO. Holy shit, bro! How many legs are in this thing?
Shit, dude, and that's only 42-1.
Guys, this is too many legs, boys. You know me. In MMA, I like a few outcome legs instead of 6 money lines. But this is even crazier. This is a ton of outcomes in a parlay. Well, he's got a Lopez money line in there. If you're sweating Lopez money line in the main event at 42-1, that's pretty sick, though. BSD finish, Socket finish.
Yeah, but going 7
Zeev money line, it looks like.
Looks like it.
That's a crazy one, bro. For a $4.99 super chat, though, I gotta consider it. We got another $4.99 super chat. Roust, I'm gonna take a picture of this one too.
It's a cycle.
Rouston KO, Malkoon decision, Kim sub. I can't wait to talk about that Malkoon fight, by the way. It's the weirdest matchup in the world, by the way.
We're only two doors down. Why don't we move on to this next one here at welterweight, and then we'll be right there.
All right. Move on?
Yeah, I think we're good there.
Here we go.
All righty. Jonathan McAuliffe taking on Oban Elliott. Matty, this fight hurts my soul. I really like both of these guys. It was tough for me to kind of decide what I was going to do here. McAuliffe coming off a win in his debut against Kevin Jusay. Oban Elliott, I think, is
good
always
win
a good
too.
time. Yeah, it was good. It was a
solid
good win.
Oban hasn't fought since that loss in June of 2025. I feel like he's been in the lab, bro. And this guy was a pretty touted prospect.
Yeah. What do you think about Oban in this fight at plus money?
I like Oban in general coming off that loss. Like, if I didn't know who his opponent was and he's plus money coming off that loss against a guy I rate very, very highly, I would almost auto bet him here. This is a tough fight though.
Yeah.
Jonathan's 8-1 in his career, 3 straight wins, 2 of them are subs. I don't think Jonathan's gonna be able to sub him though. And I think Oban can score more damage on the feet here. I got a good dog on this one, bro.
I kind of lean that way too. Like, to me, I would grade this as a pick'em. So if I get Elliott at plus 114, that would kind of be my lean here. Matty, I was gonna tuck this away maybe for the safe parlay. I kind of like this fight to go the distance. I don't really see either guy being able to finish the other one in any particular fashion. So I feel like both of them incredibly durable, both with striking defense metrics north of 58%. The question will be, I think Elliott has a higher chance to mix it up with his wrestling than the other way around.
Really?
And how much he chooses to do so. Yeah. I mean, Oban really went to the takedowns against Val Woodburn back in the day, but I don't know. Oban's competition was really poor at the start of his tenure. And then he got a big step up. He got Preston Parsons, he got Basil Hafez, and now he got Seokyoung Ko in the last fight, and Ko was able to destroy. But I mean, we've seen Ko look awesome in 2 fights now. So
he's a monster, bro. That's why it's a buy low spot on Oban. By
I
the way,
so.
I'm gonna spoil it right now, and I'm mark my words, we're gonna clip this shit. But Bam Bam KO is deja vu and the same sucker bet as Derek Lewis KO last week. Mark my words, Austin.
I love analytics and predictability. You can have that fight with Dallas and Teixeira and Tuivasa. We'll get to it, but I have no idea.
Oban KO is 8-1. Wow.
I was on Oban.
This guy has lost by knockout once, bro. Back in 2024. It was a round 4 TKO though. At Hex Fight Series. Might not be the greatest of looks. I can get there. Let me take a look. I wonder if these props are. I don't think these props are up either yet. They are on Bet Online, but let me see if they're up on some of the U.S. books. For this fight.
Can I ask you a question about?
Yeah.
You said the Jusei win was a good win. Do you feel any less? Win. Do you feel any less about that he got not knocked out in the first round of his first PFL fight?
That's a great point.
That's not great.
All right, ready for this? Oban Elliott decision plus 195. Oban Elliott KO plus 800. Submission plus 1400. The two shortest props is Jonathan decision and Oban decision. They're both coming in at 2-1.
Yeah, I really do like this fight for an over as like a potential safe parlay lean, though. I think the world of these guys, and I think they really are strong defensively.
You know who Davey is?
Are they referring to the previous super chat? Yeah, Davey Betts. It was the guy who had the cycle that you Ralston KO Malcolm decision. It was Davey Betts at Davey Betts. There we go.
Well, I don't know what they're referring to, but
now we'll refer to Davey.
Gotcha. All right. Want to move on in this one?
Yes, sir. Because we got to talk about this next fight. You told me you couldn't wait to talk about it, so why don't we do it? It's Jacob Malkoun taking on our guy, the people's champion, Torres, MF, and Finney. After all the trials and tribulations on the Contender Series, he got into UFC, and he stuck up the show. So now Finney gets the Australian assignment in Australia. I think Dana White's hoping he loses it. Matty, do you think Torres Finney will end up losing this fight to Jacob Malkoun?
Bro, this fight is so confusing to me. It's the weirdest matchup of the card. I used to love Jacob Malkoun. I'm like, who does he remind me of? He's just one of those underrated guys that's like decent everywhere. Like, I don't think his boxing's bad. I think his MMA wrestling's good. Yep. I think his durability's solid. I think the guy's pretty good, but bro, one thing I hate is his activity.
Yes.
Like he got that TKO win against Petrosky that was fluke as fuck. It was like his hip that knocked out Andre Petrosky. And then what has he been doing? Was he injured? Did he have surgery? He hasn't fought since March of 2024.
Yeah.
And now he's fighting an absolute bowling ball that doesn't have a neck. I can tell you one thing. I will be shocked if this fight doesn't go the distance. I'll be absolutely shocked.
Oh, no.
Don't tell me you like violence, bro.
No, okay. I like one specific, and we'll see if the chat's with me here. Give me Torres Finney by a right hand from hell on the feet. I remember I lived through Jacob Malkoun getting absolutely nuked by Phil Hawes, and to me, I keep playing it because I know Torres Finney is going to absolutely land one of these bombs on the feet, and why I really like it in this
matchup. 650 for
a lot of times these matchups of wrestler versus wrestler, they turn into these ugly striking battles. Finney's got a reach advantage. He's not that. Now, I will say, when you see these guys at weigh-ins, I don't think they're going to be an inch apart in height. I think it's probably like closer to 2.5 inches. We got Diego Pavia's ruler on Torres Finney here with how tall he might be. But I do think Finney's got long arms. I like the right hand that he can throw.
Okay, that's good.
Well, we got a back injury.
That's okay. Good. Thank you for that context.
That's really bad for a guy that makes his living wrestling, dude. That's really bad.
Yeah, but are we really convinced that Finney is even better on the feet, though? That's the part that's like, I think Malkoun can.
I think he's got way more power. I don't know.
What's the analytics say on? First of all, can you model this fight or no?
Yeah. Actually, I did have a model because Finney was on the Contender Series so many times. I have a model.
I just don't know that Finney even wins a boxing match here.
I've got Finney 50.7% to win, 13.1% for KO, which I'm almost certain is going to show value at like plus 660,
Plus
somewhere around there.
50 is the KO.
Oh, okay. So I'm actually not even there.
So it's right on the.
So I'm probably on decision then plus 226 is what I have it at.
So Finney lands 1.7 strikes per minute.
Yeah.
Malkoun lands, I'm assuming, way higher than that.
Yeah.
Shit's taking forever to load.
I feel like one of the laziest narratives about Finney is that his cardio is bad. When you look at how much activity he is doing and how often he is trying to take guys down that are bigger than him, his cardio is really good for what he has to do.
Oh, dude, the UFC stats are down. It says back. What the hell? I'm assuming Jacob Malkoun's. Someone tell me Jacob Malkoun's significant strikes landed per minute, but
3.86. It's 3.86. Yeah,
it's literally double towards Finney, who's very low volume.
Yeah,
I just think Malkoun could stand by his job here, and just 1-2s and fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, are either of these? I mean, Finney can have takedowns early against him.
Sure.
But what does that look like in round 2 or 3? I think Finney could steal round 1 with takedowns, and then I think Malkoun can win a boxing match in 2-3 and win on the cards. But it's almost like the UFC knows what they're doing here. Like, I don't know, bro. Do they really want to invest in Finney anyways, though? So I don't know. Finney's just one of those guys that like people are gonna root for because he's like a unique, a unique stature, and like he's like meme worthy, Like I like Finney. I'm kind of rooting for him. Malkoun's kind of been my guy. I made a shitload on Malkoun by KO over Petroski, but I felt like I got very lucky on that. So this is a fight I want to watch more tape on.
Sure.
I want to learn more about how much Malkoun has recovered from that surgery. I mean, he took a lot of time off, but I like Malkoun's pace and volume more than Finney here. And I think if he survives round 1, I think he can win on the cards in 2-3. But it's a close fight.
I will say I was both surprised to model Finney a favorite, and I'm surprised he's kind of this short of an underdog because I feel like a lot of people think Finney isn't good. Like his fight, he landed double as many takedowns, 8. Than he did significant strikes 4 against Robert Valentine. That's a crazy stat.
Bro, your KO prop could be live if that comment's true because Finney's been in so many boring fights, bro. Maybe he just comes out throwing haymakers here.
Yeah, the dude packs a mass. He slept some dude on the regional scene so bad with one of those right hands over the top. I didn't think it was the most technical.
You know what he needs to do, bro?
Yeah.
He needs to fucking fake shoot a takedown and then just throw it overhand right.
Right.
And that's his path right here.
We got some comments that Daniel Cormier's been working with Finney. That's what really Cormier was.
I like that. I think that's why we're getting a lot of love. People are getting a lot of love from him.
Yeah.
All right, we got a big time $6.99 super chat here. Another super chat from Jacob, bro. Yes. Jacob is firing. He wants me to bet his parlay. Jacob has got big upside here. 2 super chats. What do you think of this one, bro?
Saul killed round 1 KO, Finney decision, L kind of stuff. It's not bad.
Yeah.
We'll get to Saul killed. I'm conflicted on Saul killed a little bit.
Jacob's takedown defense is 20%, bro. That has to be. Where is that coming from? Where did he get taken down? It's a small sample size at 20%, guys. You guys have to understand numbers lie sometimes. I mean, who's trying to take down Jacob Malkoun? They're trying to knock his head off because he's a wrestler. Jacob Malkoun got taken down once by Petroski, once by Cody Brundage, 0 by Maximov, twice by Brendan Allen. And in the Brendan Allen fight, he took Brendan Allen down 7 times. He's only been taken down 1, 2, 4 times in his UFC career, guys. That's why his takedown defense is 20% because no one tries to take him down. And the 4 takedowns that he has been taken down. So what's that? 4 out of 6?
Yeah. I mean, I think Petroski did get him down in the first round. And like, look, Finney's probably going to land takedowns here, but it really depends what he does.
He's a good wrestler, though. He's a more skilled wrestler than Finney. Finney's just a huge, strong guy.
I would argue Finney is more effective.
With pure raw strength, yes.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like when you put the formula together, but I agree with you. Petroski's more technical.
Fair enough.
So, all right.
I can see this fight being
a hug fest. Well, if it is, Torres might not have a job.
What's the over-under on boos on this fight?
Especially if it's the Australian guy getting pinned down by Finney, it's going to be the boos will be booing. That's for sure.
Oh, facts. Bro's traps are into his head.
They do kind of look fused to his head. But I mean, Finney's, I think a lot of guys root for Finney. He was pretty disrespected in that Dana White's Contender Series fight. Like, he won by submission. And all you have to do is get a finish on that show. You usually get the contract, and he didn't get one. And so he comes back. The decision against Ralston was worse. He didn't get one. And then, he got the great performance in the last fight. But I feel like Finney was disrespected.
One thing I think I have to sprinkle on, bro, and it's crazy here, but thank you, bro. One thing I want to sprinkle on is, hear me out on this one, depending on the number. Malkoon round 3 is 13-1.
Dang.
Hold on. But let me see what round 3 KO is, because Finney don't have a fucking neck.
Malkoon does have really good cardio.
Plus 2,000, Jacob Malkoon round 2 KO. Plus 1,500, Jacob Malkoon round 2 KO.
Oh, okay, so 2,000 plus 2,000 is round 3?
Yeah, so you can get 15-1 around 2 KO, 20-1 around 3. Fight probably goes a distance, like I said, but those are some big numbers. If you think Finney ragdolls him round 1 and blows through his gas tank, he's got a lot of muscle. Malkoon's going to definitely be the fresher guy in rounds 2 or 3 for sure.
Maybe I should pocket, with you and I both agreeing about that. Maybe I pocket a violence one for the safe parlay with this. This one not to go the
totally
distance.
Against that, but it's your violence parlay.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All righty. Why don't we move on here? This next fight up, Cam Ralston, a former Torres Finney opponent, taking on Cody Brundage, who has faced Jacob Malkoon. So this middleweight run continues at 185 here. Obviously, a setup spot for Ralston. They're not trying to build Cody at this point, Matty. But what do you think these odds are a little disrespectful of Brundage's experience at this point, or is Ralston really just a really different level of prospect that's going to put him out?
I don't think it's that disrespectful. I think you're just paying a big price on the fact that he just KO'd Andre Petroski.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming. Round 1 KO against Petroski. I don't think Petroski was right in that fight. I did not see that coming at all, and I think you're just paying a premium on Ralston now after an easy KO where he took no damage. That was back in September of 2025.
Yep.
So semi-quick turnaround here, 4 or 5 months later. Dude, I just see Brundage probably losing on the cards, but that's my boy. I'm rooting for Cody Brundage, bro. I love when he spoils these prospects, bro. Brundage is just a wild card. He could win. He could out dog him. He could win on the cards. He could find a finish late. Ralston, I think, is the more dangerous guy on the feet here. But Brundage is dangerous too. I think Ralston's more technical on the feet and he's longer. Only a 3-inch reach advantage, which is actually surprising to me here.
Can I ask you, did you join Hayden and I on Ralston Moneyline on the Contender Series when he was on there?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
That was
crazy to me. He was an underdog against that guy, Brandon Holtz.
I mean, bro, his first Contender Series fight, he lost to Torres Finney. It's like, can Brundage wrestle, mix in the wrestling here and win on the cards? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just it's so tough to be in. My guy MMA Rax posted this week. It's the Cody Brundage verse. Like, you typically don't want to be betting in here because random stuff happens. How about this? 3 of the last 7 Brundage fights have been decided by officiating decisions. That's a wild
contest in there too. I don't know.
Yeah. So we had a no contest. We had a reversal to a draw. As well as the disqualification of Malkoon. So 3 of the last 7.
This is a good comment here from MMA Locker Room, who said he interviewed Ralston. He said he doesn't care about the 25K bonus. What does that mean? He just wants to win?
Well, he better, because Brundage is a guy that is all out from the beginning, and we know the Cody experience at this point where the cardio is not always good, but he's a guy that can get takedowns. I think of him as kind of like a power brawler, and he's really in it for the short stints. And the concern for Ralston is the takedown defense shored up from the Finney fight, or is he a guy that is prone to spend several minutes on his back and not able to get back to his feet? And really, he was just able to knock out Petroski, a guy that's a little chinny, before we even saw if that would come into play. I was big on Andre Petroski in that spot because I thought Andre would be able to take him down and control him, and I actually liked sub in that fight for Andre because I thought he would spend so much time in top position that he could look for something. But I At this point, I do think Rouston is the side. I got him at minus 290 in the parlay that I put together on Sunday. So
Oh shit, 80-1 on the draw.
oh God. I mean, that is the Brundage verse, right? But like, would a decision where there's minimal activity and all that stuff going on surprise me? No. Would an early KO surprise me? No. Would Brundage being able to find a hammer surprise me? No. In general, this is probably a fight you shouldn't bet on, and I sort of, as we talk through it, have regret already doing so.
I see 14-1 on Cody decision. That's insane for a guy that lost to Finney by decision.
Yeah, especially because Cody's path to a decision wins the first round. But the problem is then you get Brundage, a guy that gassed out and lost a decision to Eric McConaughey. So where do we go from here? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I think that's why it's so
I don't
long.
agree with this comment. I don't know what people watch, but I'm not ready to say Cody's giving up, bro.
No, in fact, that Mansour Abdul Malik fight was way closer than anybody was expecting. Like Cody outstruck him in that fight.
And what would you line Mansour versus Cam? I think Mansour would be a minus 180.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know if that'd be justified. I think he might be a little overrated as a prospect at this point. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. That Cody
Brundage has only been KO'd by it was really Mihail Olazechuk and who else? He has 2 TKO losses, but Bo Nichols subbed him. But who else? It was Olazechuk.
William Knight way back in the day.
William Knight, and that was 2020 William Knight when that dude was just fucking, just ragdolling people. He's just such a big, strong guy. That was ground and pound. And that was Contender Series back in 2020. So if you take that KO loss away, he really hasn't lost by KO to anyone except Olazechuk, who Olazechuk's a legit striker, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta fucking take a sprinkle on Cody by decision if you're gonna give me 14-1, bro. I'm sorry. It's not gonna be in a cycle parlay, but I'll sprinkle on a straight on that for sure.
So
I just think you're paying. I just think Cam's overvalued based on that Petrosky fight.
What is this prop? Why is Rouston submission plus 220 for a city kickboxing guy?
No way. It is plus. That's ridiculously bad.
That's a weird. That's like a scary number of like, why is that so short?
Against a guy who's only been subbed by Bo Nickel and Rodolfo Vieira.
Yeah, what I'm wondering is like, does Cody gas and then maybe it's like a round 2-3 sub where it's like he's hurt and he just grabs the neck or something like that. That's scary.
The shortest sub I've ever seen.
I think based on discussion here, I'm going to play Rouston 2-3, which kind of was my lean of that. Brundage is a very dangerous first 5 minutes, but I think his cardio does fade over time. And in general, the Rouston round 1 KO is going to be overvalued because of the
Someone's on Cam sub.
Okay, so we got some Cam sub love in the chat. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, Cam is 6 subs.
Okay.
Let's take a look at those real quick. He's 11. Here's 13 wins and 7 subs. He has a rear naked choke back in 2024.
Did register an official attempt against
MMA. He has his rear naked choke back in 2022. All of his subs are rear naked chokes, and then he has 1 arm bar back in amateur in 2016. But all of his chokes are rear naked chokes, which is how Cody got subbed by Bo. How did Vieira get Cody?
Didn't he dropped Vieira in that fight, if I'm not mistaken? Before
Cody's a dog, bro. I don't care what nobody says. Cam is a nasty rear naked choke.
Yeah, I will say it's a
I
little
wonder what
unfair.
his guillotine's like on a takedown entry.
Are you back to betting exact submissions again? Have you found?
So I tried. It's hard for me in Florida, but when I was in Vegas last week, I did take RIP, but I took Charles Johnson Anacondas 50-1, and then Darcy 25-1. But it was a fucking complete donation. Could you believe Charles Johnson got chinned like that? That was crazy.
I was very surprised that Perez did him that dirty that quickly for a guy that has fought so much tough competition and never went out.
Yeah.
I could not believe it was one of those things but I almost feel like the environment and like the $25,000 bonus, like it felt like those guys, especially the first ones out on the prelims, they were fighting to the absolute death. Like Ty Miller looked like an absolute killer against Fugit. Like Fugit is a guy that hung around against Morales. He hung around against Malat, and he looked outclassed by Ty Miller, bro. That dude is one to watch. Like, and I'm surprised he is that good.
Yeah.
Again, the best space for MMA is Austin betting against you on the Contender Series. That makes you the best type of prospect you can be.
Right.
All righty, buddy. Let's move on here. This is the featured prelim of the evening on a pay-per-view card. I guess it's not pay-per-view anymore, so maybe that has something to do with it. But Junior Tafa taking on Billy Elikana. Matty, whenever I see Junior Tafa, I get mad at Sean Sharaf, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But we know the story with Junior at this point. He's been in the UFC now for 6 appearances. Elikana is a guy that has already fought the highs of Bogdan Guskov in the top 10. He also has fought Ibo Aslan and Kevin Christian a little bit lower in competition. So Elikana returns at 205 here against Tafa. I think it's an intriguing matchup when you'd think the guy on home soil would be get the advantageous matchup, but Elikana's kind of a dangerous out. So what do you think of this matchup, buddy?
Bro, there's just no scenario where I can bet on the Tafa brothers in 2026.
Yeah.
The question for me is really, is it Elikana KO or Elikana sub? And it really just comes down to the numbers because he's going to get this guy to the ground. And then it comes down to, is he going to get ground and pound or is he going to get a choke? And it just comes down to like what the numbers and where the value is. That's my perspective on the fight. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I said I was mad at Sean Sharaf is he ruined my favorite trend in UFC, is that the Tafa bros outside of that fight have not won a fight outside the first 2 minutes. So it was literally 120-second money line sweat, no matter the price, and you would beat the Tafa bros because as long as you got out of the first 2 minutes, it was fine. And I don't know if I like this move to light heavyweight for Junior. I think he's slower on the feet. I think the weight cut has drained a little bit of his power. And then the takedown defense really wasn't better. You and I told people though about Tuco Tokos to not underrate him going into that fight against Junior Tafa because I think Tokos got a bad rap because he had a bad debut against Umar C, one of the most technical guys in the division. But to me, Tafa at that point really even underperformed expectations against Tokos. Elikana is a guy that I don't think is a very good wrestler. He has not. He's landed one takedown in UFC with 25% accuracy. Maybe he is able to get Tafa to the ground here, but we saw him fight a very slow, very methodical fight against Ibo Aslan. Given I get it at the longest number, I think Elikana points is not horrible here, but really it kind of feels like after a while the Tafa bros cardio gives up and typically they tend to quit a little bit. And that's where I would get scared to play a decision outcome. But I think Elikana does find a way to get his hands raised. I got his money line earlier this week in the parlay at -220. Same site I got it from is now -265. So a little bit of closing line value there. But I think Elikana obviously much higher ceiling, more technical dude. And hashtag Dixon put it in chat, hashtag never Tafa. That's my betting strategy with these guys.
Yeah, dude, I'm going Elikana KO here at +350.
Wow, it's that much bigger than the sub?
I think Hard Rock mispriced it because let me see what it was on Bet Online. +275. That's a really good number on plus 350.
Wow, FanDuel's got +350 on LA.
Yeah, and the sub is +190. Like I said, if the numbers were reversed, I would go sub, but all the values on the KO here, especially when he's live on the ground or the feet for the KO in this matchup. So I'm getting a -240 favorite at +350 against a guy that could quit late or could get hurt and is on a weight cut. I'm going Elikana by KO. I love that number.
Do you prefer it early or late? And then we'll read the super chat from David.
Round 2.
Okay. What do we got?
Super chat from Davey Betts again. Oh, you got Vegas Matt in the picture. Let's go. 125 pays 20K. Decision parlay. Malcoon, Hooker, Lopez. Ooh. That's
fun. It's only 3 legs?
15? Only 3 legs, but it's 3 fights by decision. That's why it pays so much. All right, let me take a picture of that one. I'm going to consider that one for sure here.
Dang.
All right, we got it.
Yeah, you should shop.
Here.
You should shop. If you got it's +290 on Elikana KO, there are better numbers out there. So shop around and get the best numbers.
I feel like we have to do, if you're cool with it, the long shot for the show. I'm probably going to lock in Elikana KO on live on the show before that number goes down. Because if I'm
good with that.
If I get a 2-legger with a plus 350 Elikana KO, and then we can find another good like plus 3, plus 400 number, we can get a nice little parlay there.
Yeah,
Nice
I'm good with it. The sub's unplayable, and I don't think I can get to decision, bro. I can't. I just in a Tafa fight, I can't get there. I didn't Justin back in the day go to a decision with Carl Williams. Remember that guy, by the way, with UFC? Justin went to a decision, but Carl Williams took everyone to a decision. I think Elikana has shown good finishing instincts, both KO and sub. So I'm with you. I think has Elikana gotten a KO in UFC?
Let's take a look. Yeah, I think he's won. Hold on.
Well, in UFC, no, he hasn't.
Oh no, he doesn't. That's why.
I like that. I like that.
That's why we're getting a nice price, bro.
Yeah,
because he has 3 KOs outside of the UFC. One was an injury stoppage, but the other one was a head kick, and then the other one was a round 1 TKO.
I feel like he could have finished
2024, bro. Literally 2 years ago, he got a round 1 KO here, plus 350 against Tafa, bro. Because dude, he can get the ground and pound too.
Can you put that comment up there? We need a round robin of the Tafas and Dawkins brothers, where we match them up and then the winners go at each other.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, you already put it up earlier. We need the brothers of Tafas and Dawkins to fight. Put Kyle against. I'll tell you what, the Dawkins are going 2-0 in that. Dawkins caucus, stand up, baby.
That's crazy.
All righty, man. Let's move on to the main card here with an open. Oh, why do I always forget this when it's the most important part of the show? How about our guys, Hayden and Nolan, still crushing it through UFC 324 last week? These guys were up over 134 units in 2025. Listen up, people. These are professional sharp bettors. You can visit winnable.com/HOF picks. You can use code HOF if you haven't done it already. You get 7 days free of their picks. Hayden does a lot of stuff with DFS too. If you're in a state like Texas, like me, that doesn't have betting. What are you waiting for? Why are you sitting here listening to us predict road to UFC? Get on it, folks. Go to Home of Fight Picks, winnable.com/HOF picks, code HOF, 7 days free. All righty.
Let's run it.
All righty, we got props on the slides. That's how you know we've officially made it here. And we'll start at lightweight with a guy I told you guys was coming. Quillen Salkeld taking on Jamie Malarkey, and boy, oh boy, is Quillen in a prop-up spot after a crazy knockout last year of Nasrat Haqparast with a head kick. I had a hard time processing what I saw when that happened. I had Salkeld money line in that fight, but I never would have guessed it looked like that. And Quillen's now taking on Jamie Malarkey, Australia versus Australia here, with Malarkey a 6-6 UFC vet, Matty. So this looks like a kill spot for Jamie Malarkey, unfortunately for him. Do you think it is, or is there any value on the dog, and kind of what's your favorite method of backing Quillen if you're good with the chalk here?
I mean, he should knock out Jamie Malarkey, but just paying a fucking expensive price there. I almost want to take the stab on the decision prop here and just hope Malarkey survives. Oh, my God.
So
I mean, Malarkey just went the distance with Rolando Bedoya.
Yeah.
I mean, the KOs that Malarkey are losing by are quality strikers. Mauricio Hufi, even Nasrat has good striking. That was not a great look because it was early in round 1. The Naimov isn't a good look either, but like Jalen Turner, he went the distance with Fares Ziam. I'm telling you, bro, 7-1 on the decision here. You're kind of selling high Quillen here, who just had a ridiculous KO. God, I kind of want to take a stab at it. Like I said, he probably finds the knockout shot, but at the end of the day, Quillen is he does a 3 decision wins and 4 KO wins. So almost 50-50 there on the KO to decision. And then look at the difference in the number, minus 130 to plus 700. I'll probably take a stab on the decision here, bro. I mean, just something light, but I just think that's where all the value lies.
Matty, I love it. This reminds me, you remember the Bo Nickel decision I took back in the day against Paul Craig? It kind of reminds me of
hated it, and
everyone hated it. My model loves it. I've got Salkeld at minus 338 here, so I have him a pretty huge favorite, especially by my standards. The hype train's obviously out of control, and we know Malarkey with the chin issues and all of that stuff factored in.
Right.
But I've got KO plus 142. I've got decision plus 264. And you see Quillen, he got the early KO of Jubilee. Anshul Jubilee's trash. It does not mean anything to me. Yeah. And then he needed the kick to beat Haqparast. But let's be honest, if he doesn't get it and that fight gets to the second round, more than likely is it going to decision. against a guy like Nasrat who had
Yeah, I mean,
been
if
historically
he like
durable.
head kicks him, he's gonna find it, but
Yeah,
I don't know that he's gonna find it with just punches, bro. I mean,
yeah.
Malarkey gets hit, but I think his durability is kind of underrated compared to the market of how undurable he is, if that makes sense. I don't think he's
Right.
durable by any means, but I don't think he's a guy that just goes lights out on anytime his chin gets touched.
And he's entering this matchup with an angle of survivability, knowing that he
Yeah.
probably needs to survive an early storm against a guy like Sal Kild, who's got this knockout reputation. My model and I are in agreement here. The really sad bet him by decision so everyone can be rich. Is that, are we gonna all of a sudden
chat? Thank you, Ryan. Make sure you give out a parlay next time, bro. But I appreciate the donation to the channel.
Yeah, absolutely, we do. We appreciate everybody in your support here, but my model likes the irresponsible.
Which one's on short notice for this one? Jamie?
I think it's Quillen.
Oh no, it is Quillen. Yeah, because Jamie's
That's good. So is this
Jamie's
still at
Australian.
155 or is it a higher weight where? Yeah.
Chat, educate us, chat. Let me take a look.
And now I also mention Malarkey hasn't been submitted in 12 appearances, and he's fought guys like Jalen Turner. He fought Ferris Zian back in the day.
Versus Australian here.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying Jamie is. Jamie's on short notice.
Imagine stepping on short notice to fight this dude. Yeah. Jamie Malarkey's built different.
Final answer.
Facing initially.
He's
facing Wrong Shoe.
Bro, isn't that crazy though to get a minus 1100 favorite to win on the cards at 7-1? I mean, that's insanity. Yeah.
This is a spot you and I go to all the time. We did with Tom Nolan last year. Look at Ateba Gautier last week. Everybody said Ateba. I was telling people be careful with that round 1 knockout last week because came in at plus money. And Polyaev, a super crafty guy, found a way to use his footwork and stay safe. Who's if we get out of the first round, how comfortable are you feeling about Sal Kild knockout? Because he went to the wrestling quick against a guy, against Ash Moose. He landed 8 takedowns in that fight. Ash Moose is a really durable guy that I like a lot, but Malarkey is a vet that has been there, done that. So I think if he can survive the early onslaught, I really see this thing going to decision.
Yeah. It's not even listed right now on some of the US books, but it's plus 600 decision on some of the offshores. Yeah. We got a super chat here. Sorry, let me just take this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Slay, Alicana KO, BSD KO, Lopez KO. That's a nasty one I'm going to consider, boys.
You're going to keep that one in the Rolodex?
Back pocket.
I was just going to mention FanDuel's got Sal Kild decision plus
they
700.
Do?
Yeah, plus
nice.
700.
Okay, I don't see it on the rock right now.
So it should come in about there.
Fair enough. Let's keep it moving.
Okie dokie. Why don't we keep it moving with that fight you teased earlier here? Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa taking on Taliesin Teixeira on a numbered card in the big 2-6. Who could possibly miss this one? Matty, Taliesin coming off that early KO loss, a little bit controversial to Derek Lewis. And then Tai Tuivasa enters this one on a 5-fight losing streak. All of them in the rankings, but still never good when that's the case. I've got a piece of UFC trivia for you, but what do you think about this matchup with Taliesin? Minus 330, minus 155 by knockout. Big numbers.
I think it's a perfect buy low spot on Taliesin, bro. Everyone thinks he's going to get knocked out. They're doing MMA math. Tai Tuivasa knocked out Derek Lewis.
Sure.
Derek Lewis knocked out Teixeira. But if Teixeira and Lewis fought 10 times in a row, how many times would that KO happen?
4?
I think that's generous. I think Teixeira was just like, he's just a tall guy. Like Lewis finds KO shots against like tall guys like that, bro.
He does. He does.
But I think, Tuivasa, what has he lost 5 in a row?
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
Everyone's gonna be rooting for him. Everybody wants to see him win. Oh my God. And Teixeira by decision is not that crazy either. 12-1. Just use the range on the feet, 8-inch reach advantage. Oh my goodness, bro.
I played the grimy Tuivasa over against Rosenstrike, and man, it was terrifying the entire time.
Yeah.
But Matty,
7. That's insane. Why doesn't this guy just stay at range, dude?
Yeah. I mean, the Derek Lewis fight, Derek just went forward, hell or high water.
Deja vu of last week. on Derek
And
Lewis too. Deja vu.
and like Talison's a guy at 26. I like his tools. I think how he utilizes his kicks will be a big will be a big feature of this fight. I will say, Maddie, this is exactly where we were with Waldo, like you said last week, where people see that minus 330 next to Talison Teixeira and they get nervous because they just saw him go out against a power puncher.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what was Waldo's advantage last week? It was speed and technique. And I think both of those things are going to be on Talison's side. Have you seen any clips of what kind of shape Tuivasa's in coming into this fight?
People are saying he looks better, but
I
I
haven't
just
seen it.
find it hard to believe that 3 months ago he looked 320 pounds, and then 3 months later he's gonna be in shape. Like it's just really hard for me to get there mentally, bro.
Yeah. I just, when they put Talison that high of a favorite after the bad result, it kind of makes me wonder, is this a particular angle? And I'm kind of on a lot of dogs this week, so if I'm gonna go to a favorite that I feel okay about, I think it would be Talison, just because Tuivasa, he was like an older era of this heavyweight division. I think he got a little bit lucky against Derek Lewis, because if you recall that fight with Derek took him down twice in the first round. Like, I thought he was on his way to winning a decision before Ty came out in the second round, was able to get the finish. But then it's a lot of Augusto Sakai, Greg Hardy, Harry Hunsucker, Stefan Struve.
Yeah.
These are not wins that mean anything in 2026. So, like,
Yeah.
I agree with you. I feel like UFC thinks they are doing Taos. There's no way that over-under is right? It says over-under minus 144.
No, that's not right.
There's no way that's right. We must admit
right. No chance. Bro, do you like, if you're going to take Teixeira KO, though, do you like it early or late?
Can I use phone a friend in this fight's minus 156 to not start the second round?
The over 1.5 is plus 175. The over 2.5 is plus 400. I think Teixeira round 2 makes all the sense in the world. I think he just keeps his distance in round 1, and then Tai Tuivasa gets worn down, kind of like the Derek Lewis Costa fight last week.
Yeah.
And I think Teixeira finds a round 2 KO, probably like teep kicks to the stomach, wearing him down, and then standing TKO where Ty has nothing left. That's my prediction.
And that's what I think. This is the evolution of heavyweight, where Ty is pretty much only his hands. He'll throw the occasional leg kick out there, but Talison is a guy that will vary his weapons, and he can do so in devastating fashion. I almost wonder if he'll get a body kick here. Ty is not. I don't think of him as like a chinny guy.
Gon beat the shit out of his stomach, bro.
Correct. And Talison is willing to mix up those same weapons. So I kind of agree with you. The Teixeira round 1 KO is going to be the popular way to back him. I kind of lean maybe more of a 2-3. But I'm with you, man. I don't think it can be Tai Tuivasa in 26.
I can't do it, bro. Guys, we just hit 2,500 live viewers. Smash the like button. Make sure you're watching on YouTube if you're over on X, so you guys can comment on here and enter the super chat giveaways. Yeah. Let's dive into the best striking match of the night, Austin.
Absolutely. I dubbed this one in my Home of Fight breakdown. Like, I do a fight by fight breakdown for the website. This is my fight of the night contender right here. I think Rafael Fiziev and Mauricio Rufy are going to put on a show. Not a lot of takedowns, a lot of violence here. We got an early entrant here on Mauricio Rufy as an underdog. He's flipped to a favorite. He's now minus 125. I think, Matty, everybody knows this is going to be a competitive, awesome fight. Yep. Who do you ultimately think is going to win it?
I'm really struggling with this fight, bro, because I love Mauricio Rufy. Cashed the 100K cycle parlay on Rufy getting subbed by BSD, but I had the fight to end by sub, which was the crazy part because I thought both angles were live.
Sure.
I love Mauricio Rufy. If this is a straight kickboxing match, I honestly think Rufy's the better striker. I think he's more of a sniper. I think he's better defensively by far. And I think he's better one-shot precision power, if that makes sense. Yep. Whereas Fiziev is more of a guy that will just Muay Thai you to death and just throw shots at you. But, I mean, the reach advantage is huge. The distance management is huge. The only thing I'm struggling with, bro, and I want you to tell me if I'm tripping here, but is Fiziev going to wrestle him, bro? He did it against Ignacio. He did it a little bit against Justin Gaethje. And if Fiziev takes him down early, the question is, can he hold him down?
Sure.
I don't know the answer to that. But I think that's his path. This is a very similar matchup to the Ignacio Bahamondes fight. And remember, if you remember, the whole world was on Ignacio there. Fiziev just showed he was the better MMA fighter with 4 takedowns, and he outstruck him by 12 strikes. That's the only thing that makes me hesitant here, because otherwise I would slam Mauricio Rufy, especially at this money line price, bro.
You know what makes me feel amazing in this fight? Model loved Gaethje in the first fight. Gaethje won. Model loved Gamrot. That fight was kind of you throw it away because of the injury. Model loved Gaethje in the second fight. Model loved Bahamondes in the last fight. So it's not been a big Rafael Fiziev guy. Yeah. I've got Fiziev minus 164 here. I think I think the Rufy
these odds aren't accurate anymore though.
What do you mean?
Oh, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong price. Yeah. So Rufy's the favorite.
Rufy's a small favorite. I've got Fiziev minus 164. Matty, I think you said it best.
That could be like a 2-3 unit play for you if you're going right by the model. That's a lot of value.
I'm just waiting because this line's still getting a little bit bigger. It's the fighting nerds stuff, and Rufy to me is the weakest of the core fighting nerds guy. We saw the grappling limitations against Saint-Denis. Fiziev has landed 6 takedowns in his last 2 fights, but I think the biggest thing is the volume here, dude. Fiziev's almost a significant strike per minute higher. Ooh, what's going on there? We got John Silva unfollowed.
Yeah, you didn't see that? Silva's just an emotional guy. He unfollowed Rufy because he's training with Volk. That's my interpretation of it.
Okay, interesting. But
he temporarily left fighting nerds to train for this fight.
So you look at Fiziev's history. His last sort of blowout loss that wasn't an injury was kind of like a spinning back kick in his debut. He's always in these close fights. What did we see Rufy against Hamas Yontop? That was like a way closer fight than it should have been, where he couldn't get Yontop out of there. And really, he's been highlight or bust kind of in his career. And now you're paying a favored price against a guy in Fiziev who higher volume. I think he's fought the better level of competition. I think he's got the grappling upside. I am going to play Fiziev's going to be my biggest money line of the entire card here.
Yeah, I see the path. I see what you're saying. I think that this is a big comeback fight for Rufy. I'm going to lean Mauricio Rufy here. I'm not confident on the money line. Has Fiziev ever been? So Fiziev has been knocked out twice. No, one was a leg injury,
and then it was his debut against Magomed Mustafayev.
2019. So he hasn't really been knocked out for 7 years.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This fight's
it's tough because Rufy by points is hard when he's lower volume.
Yeah,
it's a really tough fight. I think this is the hardest fight of the night to bet on.
I'm completely disregarding my model's recommendation of Fiziev sub here. That's a stupid long shot that I won't be participating in. But
does he have any? He has one submission win back in.
He does. He doesn't have any attempts in UFC though.
Back in 2016, he's a rear naked choke. I don't think that matters.
I think it's noise because Rufy, when he's lost professionally, especially against BSD, it was a submission loss. So it kind of looks at that and says, if he's going to lose, it might be this way. So
Rufy cannot grapple from what we've seen.
Yeah. So
he's definitely had to improve on it though. But this is a better matchup for him. So it's a tough fight.
BS absolutely better matchup than BSD. And I were all
20-1 on a submission is pretty crazy against a guy that just got subbed, I will say.
But I see a stand-up. Have you seen how big Fiziev's looking this week, by the way? They had a picture of him next to BSD. Dude,
that's actually interesting on the weight cut here. He looked like a middleweight.
Exactly. So maybe we'll watch the scales Friday, see how he's doing. Yeah. Wow, we got a lot of Rufy love in our chat, dude.
I knew we would.
You guys are addicted to those fighting nerds, guys, man. I'm telling you, I'm leaving in 25. Carlos Protest, we're coming for him too. He's on borrowed time. But Matty, exciting co-main event here. I actually love this fight between Dan Hooker and Benoit Saint-Denis on short notice. He was lobbying for your guy Moicano. He said they both suck and that's why they should fight each other. But ends up against one of the scariest, most physical guy in the division, who, by the way, lost to Moicano. So I guess UFC says, no, you're a little worse than Moicano, buddy. But Dan Hooker really looking for a rebound after the Armin Saryukian sub, which you cashed. You were right. I was not. I also have to give you credit. You had John Silva last week. I had Arnold Allen head-to-head, so maybe listen to Matty about Rufy. But, Matty, when we get to Benoit Saint-Denis and Hooker, Saint-Denis is minus 340 here, stepping into Dan's backyard. What do you think of this matchup?
Dude, I'm so torn on this because I will say one thing. I think the most popular bet outside of Tai Tuivasa KO this week is going to be BSD by sub.
Yeah.
But Arman Sarukian, I think, is levels above BSD with the grappling. And what I will say is Dan Hooker did very good against Gamrot with the wrestling and the takedown defense and just surviving. I think BSD is more physical than Gamrot, and he can maybe hold Hooker down better than Gamrot, who Gamrot gets so many takedowns because he lets guys up, or he's guys are able to get back to their feet against him. But call me fucking crazy here. Nobody will be on it, but BSD by points on a three-rounder. On a three-rounder is plus 325. And Dan Hooker is not a guy that's going to go away easy with strikes. So if he doesn't give up a rear naked choke here, I feel like BSD can win on the cards. And I know everyone's going to want me to take BSD by sub in the cycle, but I'm struggling with this one, bro, because I really don't know if I just feel like you're paying a premium for this BSD sub just because Hooker just got sub, but it's like Sarukian is just, I think he's just so much better of a grappler than BSD.
Yeah. In general, when I talk about the fight, I think this is buying BSD at his apex. When you saw the guy that got, his head twisted off by Dustin Poirier, and really Moicano did bad things to Benoit in his home country there in France.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much better he is, as much as he got two really great matchups in Rufi, who had a history of poor takedown defense, and then Benny Dariush. I mean, that guy's chin is unfortunately just complete and total dust, and Benoit was able to walk right through him. I kind of like Hooker here, dude. I really do. And it feels like similar. I was on Hooker against Gamrot, and I feel like I really trust Dan's takedown defense. I think he's got those long limbs, so he's really hard to plant. He's really hard to get actually to the ground, and he's got good balance against the cage. I kind of like Hooker by knockout in this fight, just like the Poirier fight, where maybe he doesn't have the best early start defending takedowns and he has to weather a little bit of a storm, but maybe a later KO or a decision as well. It'll be interesting what the total is here, because my model definitely likes violence, and that leans that if Benoit Saint-Denis wins, he's going to kill him. I've got BSD minus 198, so that's a pretty good outcome for me, like in his direction. My gut says I kind of like Hooker, and I've got most likely outcome for him KO at plus 541.
Yeah, I mean, dude, what does it tell you? The over 1.5 is minus 160. Like, for everyone that thinks that BSD is just going to sub Hooker early.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I think the fight kind of favors Hooker if it hits round 3.
And maybe
he could be down 2-0 going round 3.
Yeah.
That's why the hard part is, like, can you really bet a plus 325 decision on a guy that's never won on the scorecards?
Yeah.
You'd like to get a better price than that.
But can I say something? Ultimately, Benoit is going to win on the cards at some point inside the rankings. We see this a lot where guys have huge finish rates early in their career, and then as they fight tougher competition, they start going the distance more often.
Yeah. No,
especially in 3-rounders.
Yeah. All right, we got a super chat here. Only reason Arman took Hooker down, Dan, because he jumped guillotine. That's a great point. Hooker has nasty submissions. I like that.
BSD did get his neck in trouble a couple times against Poirier, and Poirier could not resist jumping that gilly. I think Hooker's gilly is better than Poirier. Sorry, Dustin, if you're watching along with us.
All right, bro. Give the people a 60-second breakdown of this fight, because I got to use the bathroom, bro. I'm sorry.
Okay. Maddie's going to urinate while I let you guys know about Alexander Volkanovski taking on Diego Lopez. Of course, we saw the first fight between these two. It was the fight that nobody asked for as far as a rematch. You got Lerone Murphy sitting out there. You got Aljamain Sterling sitting out there. You got Movsar Evloev sitting out there. And all of a sudden, we get Diego Lopez part 2. And I think it's because I think ultimately it is because the UFC wants Diego Lopez to win. He's a super exciting guy. I said in my breakdown that I wrote up earlier this week, he's like designed in a lab for what UFC wants from an entertainment perspective. And in this spot, Alexander Volkanovski is 37. We've seen his chin issues get the better of him at times. And the question is, does it hang on? Is it as convincing as it was the first time for him? Has Diego Lopez made some improvements or some adjustments? I'll be curious to what Matty thinks here with this particular matchup, because it feels like the data is out in front of us, and it's not that old. Like 7 months ago, Volkanovski was able to really outclass Diego outside of like the round 2 drop that he had, and that was a sketchy moment. But I really think when you get down to it, my model's outcomes here were kind of interesting to me. I've got Volkanovski at -170. I've got decision at +131, so showing a little bit value compared to what he sits at the odds markets, even though it's low. And really, a lot of that comes from Diego Lopez as a guy that in UFC, -0.62 striking success rate. He just hasn't been super successful. His fights have been prolonged. You go back to the Dan Ige fight. You go back to you go back to the Volkanovski #2 fight. You go back to the Evloev fight. Really, it hasn't gone his way when it's been particularly extended. Matty is in the bathroom. So that's why I'm rambling and making up for it as I go with a segment that I
I'm back.
was not prepared to do. But Matty is back, and I started to give my pick, and I started to give my lead and my model breakdown. So, Matty, you didn't hear a word of it. What is your take as you hear this?
Dude, I'm struggling, bro, because the last 2-3 weeks I've talked about Diego Lopez by KO in the rematch. I honestly don't like the odds on this fight. I really thought even though Volk semi-dominated a 49-46, I actually thought this would be a pick-em on the rematch, and I thought everybody would be like, how's it a pick-em? I just think I like Lopez in the fight, but I'm kind of struggling with it.
Yeah, so I was explaining to the audience that not surprisingly, I've got Volkanovski modeled -170 here. It's a model based on per minute efficiency, and we saw when these two matched up here, Volk really outclassed him outside of the round 2, drop. The question is now Volk is a little bit older. The adjustments should come into the rematch. My question is, what is a potential changeup that Volk could bring Diego as this super dangerous guy? Does he wrestle a little bit more? Does he try to mix it up that way and then go right into Lopez's BJJ? So are you kind of leaning Lopez KO here from what I heard?
I've been on the KO for a long time. Is it really plus 320?
It is. Let's see what it is on the Shield. Up to this minute, I've got it plus 417, and FanDuel has it. The King of
I see plus 350 on Hard Rock.
I got plus 310, so you got a better number there on Hard Rock than they got on FanDuel, plus 310.
I still like it. I'm just torn. I think Diego needs to go for it, though. That's the thing. Like, I kind of feel like in this rematch, like, you're not going to outpoint Volk on 5 rounds. I just don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
The reason Diego is as great as a fighter as he is because he just fucking goes for it. Look at the Gene Silva fight. Look at some of his fights before he lost to Volk.
Yeah.
Like the reason he's so good is because he's a finisher.
Yep.
So don't try to fucking outpoint Volk at his game. You can't play into that. You have to go and you can't have any respect for Volk, as hard as that is, and you have to just go try to kill this guy. And I think if he does that, he can get it. But I don't want to see him try to get into a point striking match with Volk. And I think if that happens, I think we're going to see another 49-46 or maybe even a 48-47 for Volk or something.
Yeah.
But I do like also a lot of people, no one's really talking about the club and sub just because Volk is so hard to sub. But that's a possibility as well. I don't think either guy will try to wrestle. I think if you're Volk, why would you try to wrestle into this guy when he's so dangerous?
Sure.
And then Lopez, I don't think his wrestling is good enough to just spam takedowns on Volk. So I think he just has to show no respect and try to just find that chin at all costs. Maybe put yourself in the danger just to find it. And I think if he does that, he can find Volk's chin. But he's got to pressure him and just have no respect for him.
Yeah. To me, this is a really tough spot for Volk where, he's an older guy that staved off this super dangerous challenge in the first fight. And then all of a sudden now he's got to redo it. And Lopez a little bit older, a few more miles on the odometer. And I feel like at this point, Volk is what he is, where he's not a guy that carries a lot of power, not a guy that carries a lot of submission danger. And so I felt it. I bet Volk like -130 in the last fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary because that at any moment it feels like Lopez
it almost happened too in round 2.
Yeah, it did. And like even beyond that fight never really spent prolonged time on the ground. But Lopez is a guy with great jiu-jitsu. It is very, very scary. But at the same time, Lopez hasn't been fighting very well. You remember the John Silva, the second round of the John Silva fight, he was getting absolutely destroyed before finding that spinning back elbow or whatever it was that ended up winning him the fight. That was a very weird performance where
Yeah.
he used his size and physicality over John Silva, that maybe this guy's just too big and he's too strong and he is able to keep it
Yeah.
and take it this time. But I haven't rushed to the window, and I'm hoping this Volk line crashes throughout the week so I can bet my model's verdict here. Did you hear what I have Volk at? I got a minus
No.
170. So
Wow.
and then plus 131 by decision. So literally the most boring outcome to bet in the fight. But
Yeah.
I do think Arnold Allen did better again than on the feet than Lopez. I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
And Volk's such a tough guy to take
By the
down.
way, I think John Silva's the worst matchup ever for Volk.
Yeah.
I
Well,
really do.
yeah, I mean, with the forward pressure and the giant right hand, it's just like one of these guys is going to catch Volk, and he can't do it forever. He's 37, and this division's too good. Lerone Murphy's awesome. Movsar Evloev is really, really good. Lopez is explosive. Like, I know someone's going to get Volk at some point, and that's it. His championship run's over. But I just feel like Lopez is kind of a little bit sloppy. Is kind of how
Yeah.
I care. He's a little sloppy, but he's just so dangerous and has so many tools that it's scary to bet against him. But I feel like Volk is the side to me.
Yeah. I would hammer Gene Silva against both these guys. I don't care that Lopez already beat him.
If
I'm
Armin Saryukin's going to featherweight, he's gonna have to cut off his left arm.
He's it's insane. I don't blame the guy though. He's getting so fucked by the UFC.
Yeah.
You know, you can say what you want about he doesn't help his own case with the shit that he does, but at the same time, there's no doubt he's the best number one contender at lightweight.
If he goes down to 145, Movsar Evloev's gonna be like, buddy, get in line. I've been here the whole time and I haven't gotten a title shot.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I like the final verdict. I do like the Lopez KO plus 350. We'll see if I play it or not. But it's going to be a good main event. I don't think anyone's complaining about this main event at the end of the day.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the adjustments are for both guys, and that's always the interesting part of such a quick rematch in a title setting. But all right, Matty, let's build some parlays and get the folks on their way.
Before we build the parlay, boys, I got to shout out Homa Fight Picks on Instagram. The first 100 people from the live stream, if you DM Homa Fight Picks right now, just DM them the word Matty right now. They're going to send you a link. You can get all the picks for free this weekend from Hey Jive and Nolan. My picks are free. You can get them in Telegram or Instagram, Twitter, wherever. But if you guys want to get those picks from Hey Jive and Nolan for free this weekend, go DM them the word Matty right now. Let's go ahead and let's build a parlay, bro. Okay. Why don't you start with your first leg of the safety parlay? Did it hit last week or no?
No, I had Johnson Perez, dude. It ended up a straight leg of Johnson Perez starts round 3, and that went very poorly. So
yeah,
I thought we were messed up anyway because of the Alexander Hernandez stuff. We took Hernandez at like minus 170, and then all of a sudden it looked like he was hurt. But I was thinking you and I can't go anything Tuivasa related, but some cheeky totals we were looking at. Like I really like the McAuliffe Elliott over. How do you feel about that?
Elliott over.
It's minus 270 to start round 3, as well as it's plus or minus 182 to go the full distance.
Let's see, minus 300 round 3. You got minus 270?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. We should build it. Are you gonna play it? Because I'll build it on Hard Rock if you're gonna play it.
No, I mean whatever's fine.
You're Matty Basketball. You don't play.
I don't love the leg, but I'll ride whatever you pick.
Okay, well, if you don't love it, we have options.
No, I mean if you like it, it's your parlay, bro.
What was the other one? What is the Finney Malkoon distance? Because you kind of like Malkoon late. I like Finney early. Oh geez, it's plus 134 to not go the distance. So wow, that one's favored to go the distance.
What about Billy by finish? On Tafa.
I said my initial gut read was decision though. Billy money line feels a little bit wasteful to me.
Yeah.
What
about the Oakley fight? Anything there?
Oh, yeah, that's kind of interesting.
The over 1.5 is minus 425. That's crazy.
What if I just take Yija to
why don't you take Yija money line?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I like that a lot.
That's a side that I've come around to as the week has progressed.
And then you just need one leg on the main card is what I would recommend.
Yep. Outside of the Teixeira fight, which is nothing. safety parlay.
What about the total on Fazeev Roofie? Or you could go. No, never mind.
You know what would be ideal is if I had a Fazeev point spread. That would be sick for like
Yeah,
the
I
safe
have that.
parlay.
Do you like length in the hooker fight? Over 1.5 minus 165. That's fucking scary though.
Oh, but it feels so me. It hurts.
I
Doesn't
mean,
it?
it's perfect for the safe parlay because that puts you at plus 137. Or you could just do fight to start round 2, bro.
Yeah, that's probably the angle I would
Fight to
take.
reach round 2 is minus 300. That puts your safe lay at
Coming
minus
off the
103.
early BSD.
That puts your
Yeah.
safe parlay at minus 103. You get fight to
Let's-
reach round 2 in hooker BSD, and then you get Yazab money line minus 210.
Let's run it. Let's do Yijia money line. I'll type it in here, buddy.
Yeah, type it in for me.
Yijia money line and what was the other one that we had
Hooker to reach round 2.
Hooker Santini starts round 2. I like that a lot.
That's gonna be a fun 5-minute sweat too.
Yeah. It always is with BSD.
And Hooker.
Didn't Hooker make it to round 2 against Armin though?
Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah,
Okay,
got
yeah. So he made it. He made
2
it.
or 3 minutes, I think, around 2.
All right. So there's your safe parlay. I put it in chat, Matty. Yijia money line and Benoit Santini, Dan Hooker starts round 2. You put them together minus 103 from yours truly. And then we owe the people, we'll do a long shot, which I think we can bring Billy Elikana in here now, if you'd like.
Let me take a look. All right. I got 1,000 in my account right now. Yeah, I'm going to do for the first leg. I'm definitely going to do, what was it?
You know what would be absolutely unhinged, bro, is if we did Sal killed.
What was the KO?
Elikana KO was plus
Yes.
3. I got plus 350 available for a leg.
Yeah, that's leg number 1.
Okay. Is Sal killed decision the other leg crazy, dude? I mean, when we talk about it's 35-1 if we just slap those together. Elikana KO, Sal killed
plus
decision.
650. 32, 33-1. All right, let me browse around first because that leg is iffy.
Okay.
Oh, that's fucking nice though. I kind of just want to get to sheriff finish though. No, it just sucks.
It's not a long. That's probably like minus 180, huh?
To share a KO though, it's plus 623 together. It's not bad though.
That's not a long shot.
Yeah, it's not over 10.
I'm gonna start calling you Matty Safe Parlay Bets.
What if I get to share around 2 KO? I love that, bro. I love that. That's plus 425. Now we're at 23-1.
It was a take that we had together. I've got plus 490.
I say we ride that, bro.
Okay.
We could get crazy and take round 2 KOs for both of them.
I know Saul killed decision is like the responsible way to bet the fight, but do I feel like Malarkey's chin holds? Like, do I have any faith in it? No, I don't have any faith in it.
Let's see. Let's do if I do 800 on that. 850 pays 20 grand. I'm doing it.
Okay, I'm with you.
I just placed it. All right, let me screenshot this. Bang. It's in. All right, let me type this. 850 to win 20,000. Elikana by KO. To share a round 2 KO. Bang.
All right, buddy. We got to give him an underdog of the card too. We gave him Krylov for 1-0.
850 to win 20K.
I'll definitely play it because I'm down to play it for sure.
Yeah.
Like
I also
gotta
pick one of the people's super chat parlays.
Oh, that's right. So what are our nominees here of what you want to go with? I thought there was one earlier you really, really liked. I've got the Elikana KO, BSD KO, Lopez KO was one of them. That was from our guy Ryan. And then we had another one from Gavi, moneyline underdogs,
The
Aaron
one from
Tao.
Ryan was like 42-1. Is that what you're talking about? No, that was like 5 legs.
No, yeah, he put another one in there that was like 7 legs long. It was way longer than that.
Oh, here. Yeah, he's a violence lay. Elicana KO, BSD KO, Lopez KO.
Malcoon Hooker Lopez decision was Davies' long shot that he sent us.
All right. Where's Ryan at? Ryan, are you in the chat? I need to get your permission to edit your
Alter.
parlay.
Which one are you gonna edit?
I'm gonna take his violence. I'm gonna take his violence lay, but I'm gonna take BSD money line though. All right, let me type this in if he's cool with it.
Ryan is here. Permission granted. You got approval from Ryan to edit his parlay.
Permission granted.
There we go.
BSD money line. We're gonna go. We're gonna go Elicana KO, Lopez KO. Where is the third leg?
If I liked Diego Lopez, I would play the sub myself.
This still pays nice. It's plus 25.
It does. It does.
All right. So 150 pays 4K. So Ryan, you're in for 50 on that. So 50 at 25-1. Let me screenshot this one too. And then I'll type it in the chat.
I've got the masses turning with me on Dan Hooker. That I like. I kind of like Hooker in this spot.
Ryan Matty parlay. BSD ML. Elicana KO. Lopez KO.
Jesus, I just realized I'm on all the grandpas. I got Volk at 37, Hooker's 35, Fazim's 32. What could possibly go wrong?
Dang, there it is, boys. Ryan and Matty parlay, 150 to win 4K. BSD ML Elicana KO. Elicana KO is plus 350, so that's a typo.
Yeah.
And then Lopez KO plus 350, boys.
We want to hit one of these, man. That would be so sick. And then you get to send the half of the winnings to the other guy that helped you craft it. That's perfect.
Yeah, so Ryan would get
2,000.
It's like plus 2548 times 4. Ryan would get caught $1,300. Ryan gets $1,300 for a super chat if that hits.
Nice.
Take a picture of that.
Yeah, our goal with this is that we lose money doing it. That would be ideal. Well, Matty loses money, but that way you guys can save.
Yes, every show, guys, we pick one from the super chats. If
Yep.
you send up a long shot parlay over 10-1, I'll consider all of them and then I'll pick one at the end of the show.
And can even start next week at the Apex. Okay, Matty, dog of the card, and then we're out of here. What do we think? We got Aaron Tao, we got Rafael Fazeev, we got Oban Elliott. You and I both kind of like.
Oban Elliott, bro.
We're going Oban. I think so too.
I can't get there in Fazeev, and Tao's only plus 105.
I think it's a buy low spot on Oban too. I'm going with him.
What's Oban's money line though?
Plus 112.
Wow, geez, not that much better. I still like it though.
Yeah, because you and I were a little split on Finney. Unless I don't think we want to do one on the road to UFC, guys, which would be like Louis or whatever. So I think it is Oban. Not a great card for underdogs, but I think we'll go with Oban there. Plus 112.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Quickly,
all right, guys.
Oban Elliott, dog of the card. Ryan's parlay is right here.
We got the show long shot is Elicana KO and Teixeira round 2 KO together.
And then we got the safety parlay to finish it.
And there's the safety parlay. Yijia money line. Hooker sent it. He starts round 2. Thanks, guys, for joining us so much. We know we're long-winded. We spent way too much time on the road to UFC fights as always, but this is so much fun every Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. We do have a card again from the Apex next week, and so we'll keep on rolling on. This Paramount schedule is packed, so you're going to see a lot of Matty and I on Wednesdays moving forward. We appreciate you joining us. As always, check the description for our Home of Fight picks info. My picks are in our Home of Fight Discord, as well as I'll have a full fight-by-fight breakdown of UFC 325 coming to homeoffight.com on Friday. Matty, when can the people expect your cycle parlays?
Cycle parlay will be out by Friday. The ladder play will be out by Friday as well, boys. Let me think on it.
Yeah, important stuff. We got to think on it. We'll start the ladder Friday as well. And I'm sure we'll be in text communications about what we're going to do there. But thanks, guys, so much for joining us. Until next time, stay cool. Hope your parlay bets hit and enjoy the fights from Sydney on Saturday.
Yes, sir.